Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of more products from the Gamemat.eu website that is based in the Czech Republic. And this is the Badlands Terrain Set. Looks like a a desertish type terrain set. And then the playmat is a 4x4 one-sided sands print that you can see on their website as well. So let's go ahead and get down to the table. We'll take a look at these two products and then have some final thoughts here in just a few moments. So hey everybody, thanks for joining us once again here as we take a look at some more Gamemat.eu products. This terrain is probably the strangest, I guess you could say, looking. Maybe it's just me. I'm not much for the desert motif, although it does have its place. I could see a lot of really neat Tatooine battles happening in and amongst this terrain for Star Wars Legion possibly, so that's cool. I do like that. I guess I just thought that I wanted a little bit more of a red look, and this seems like it's a little bit washed out with the lighter color of that beige or almost even a white color it looks like on some of them. The top of this one is really egregious in that way, in my opinion. But really, that's not anything that's too difficult to fix if you have, the same inclination as me that I wanted this to be a little bit more red, kind of Grand Canyon-y look to it. But again, that's just a minor quibble in my opinion. The way that the terrain is painted, the way that it is sculpted is all really good. These are not overly heavy pieces. You're going to get 18 pieces of terrain in amongst all of this. So you have the two larger pieces that are here, and then you have the two other pieces over here that are very similar in shape and size. Then you have two smaller pillars, I guess I'll call them, and then two larger pillars like this, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of little terrain that's like this, that's going to be, you can use it as a wall, or maybe you can have it as just an outcropping of rocks in the middle of the field or something to that effect. I've got them set up as walls right now along this trench, so to speak. So I think there's a lot of good things that you can do with this terrain. I think that, again, as I said earlier, I wish it was a little bit darker. The shadows over here are a little too stark for my tastes. But again, that's not something that's very difficult to fix if you're in that fancy. But as far as pre-painted terrain is concerned, it is not bad at all. This is probably so far my least favorite. But again, that's not to say that it isn't good. It's just, I mean, I really do like it. It just is not my style, I guess you could say. But it does look really cool. And as we begin to take a closer look at the playmat here, the Sands 4x4 single-sided playmat, you'll see that maybe it's a dried out riverbed or a road of some kind is really kind of the main attraction of the playmat. But if you look a little bit closer on some of the parts of the playmat, you'll see some little Easter egg type things here. Let me go ahead and see if I can focus in on this. It looks like it might be a building or something to that effect that's in amongst the sand. Maybe a vehicle of some sort that is blown over, and then over here you have another, maybe it's a pillar or something to that effect. I don't know what it could be, but there's a lot of little kinds of Easter eggs all over this playmat. And you also have some things that look like, cobblestone roads and that type of stuff. But then you also have just, dried, cracked earth. Really give it a very strong character in and of itself. Let me back out just a little bit here. And we come back over to that place in between the two roads, and you have some more cobblestone over there. So just a lot of character and detail that goes into this playmat. The thing that I wanted to exemplify here was how difficult it is to move this. And as you can see, I'm kind of pushing into this, and it's bubbling up a little bit, but I'm really putting a lot of pressure on it. Just normal wear and tear, this is really going to stick to the surface that you have it on pretty well, because I mean, I really do have to put some elbow grease into moving this thing, even just a little bit. The underside of the mat, as you can see here, is that rubbery material that really just kind of grips when you have it laying flat. So if you try to move it, yeah, it'll bubble up, but that's when I'm trying to move it. If you don't try to move it, it ain't going nowhere. And that's one of the things that I really do like about these play mats, is that they do kind of just tend to stay where you put them. So really, I think I'm coming to the realization here that these play mats are something that I really do enjoy a lot. I think they can add a lot of character. They have a lot of different uses that you can use for them. It can just be a table topper to give the board game that you're playing on top of it a little bit more of a in-depth excursion into the theme that surrounds the game that you're playing. You can be used as a play mat for a miniatures game, a tabletop game. You can just use it as a table topper, and because it does act like a mouse pad if you have that use for it as well. I've been using it for not just this one, but other ones as well, for a table cover, so to speak, for my Q&As, and it works really well because I do use my mouse there as well, so it picks up a lot there. But I mean, its general purpose is also very good. It provides a very thematic envelopment to the game that you're playing, and I really do like them. The fact that they are high quality, you've seen in other reviews where I have done for these mats, where I've done a test for the waterproofing. So that is far and above. It passed all of those tests. We even poured Coke and Mountain Dew and Bai on the mats as well. We didn't go overboard and try, different kinds of things like, ketchup and barbecue sauce and all that other kind of stuff. And no, we're not going to do that here. It says that it's waterproof, not condiment proof. So I'm not going to test that. But these mats are really nice. They have been in storage now for 3 weeks, and there is no curling or anything going on with any of these. And so that's another really strong positive about these. You don't have to hang them up like other play mats from a hanger or something like that for them to stay flat. These are rolled up and kept in the containers that they come with, which is basically just a tube with a couple of handles on it, and they lay flat every single time I bring them out. So they are great products. I think they are well worth the money you would spend on them, and they are very comparably priced within the market. So I don't think you're ever going to be disappointed with these things that you can get from Gamemat.eu. They've done a good job, and I feel like a broken record because they sent a lot of stuff, and I told them I would do a review of everything. So that is this for the Sands 4x4 playmat and the Badlands Terrain Set that we looked at earlier. Thanks for joining me again. We'll see you guys on the flip side.